for 24 hours. You can receive money for 24 hours. There are many chop bars that are open for 24 hours.
24-hour economy. Now 8-hour economy went to me and so light. 8-hour economy. 8-hour economy. Now you team one with the diagram. Went to me and so light. 24 hours I bet me here. Light run I bet me here. 8 hours I went to me here. Nana. Honorable Atu Forcing. 8 hours went to me and so light. Nana. Honorable Atu Forcing.
And the Vice President is saying that he understands the region. He says these 24-hour economies. Hey, my brothers, when we work in our farms and we are tired in the night, we have to sleep with our wives. So we have to be with our wives. So in the night, you want us also to go and be farming, and then people will come and take our wives away. Hey, now we have to be careful about this 24-hour thing.
Or the 24-hour economy, and yes, sir. So, Kasa on Carbonate, Obi Abekase, 24-hour economy, no, and Yadi Papano, National non politics, I say. Obi Abekase, 24-hour economy, no, and Yadi Papano, National non politics, I say. Jessia Bisa, Yara Jomahamani said. Jane Ubeya, a Bema economy, no, actually around it 24 hours. And only question I see this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 24-hour economy may have finally resonated with Ghanaians. It may be classified as an idea whose time has come due to Ghana's self-inflicted economic crisis today, because the 24-hour economy initiative has been well thought through and was captured on page 105 of the NDC's 2020 People's Manifesto. Indeed, its roots emanate from the 40-year National Development Plan that was developed by the National Development Planning Commission, which was put together when I was president of this country.
Abusia anyumre mwajo mwakwaba ami said yes ye Ghana for nyina at Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia Frank Tunima NPP Amanyuko Vice President and Head of Economic Management Team for more than 2 hours. Wajina na so deliver a year speech ni vision out the Woma Ghana for the entire say Ghana for yen to aba emfama no mayo mampeni the opesa o ye de more minds Ghana for to aba manwa wabobo so nansa no akeka niama hudo bebra as a vice president in NPP aban for the past 8 years o matumi aye de ama Ghana for so ne ya adwen ana so ne nya adwen ne ntina ne yesi hu nkonya e bibie konya tumi na so atimi akyere wadwen kan so hwe live original TV social media handles ne nyina so obetimi aflo ho medini sisa samonto ni media obetimi from the captain of the leadership me sure so nya daji tie Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia na otimi hwe no TV so ntimi ba baje wadwen kyere utie Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia no sen na osi hu ne nsem o kan ye no to wasumu ugidi said Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia our track record and into do to me be man kukromoti to me be man 2024 year na answer na me ko social media so na said dem crofo react to Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia after say we deliver a year in more than 2 hour speech or the vision atuja yenua samoni ukan ama or say I have my own vision no say we Bawumia pa so dear okay we so dear there about say the man who donated stolen expired rice to Muslims is claiming to be incorruptible. Whereas Nanado has tarnished Yenia Makura Matata. I would say Nanado has tarnished Bawumia's reputation. Nothing he says makes sense. Or not dear, I don't know. Yeah, let's see. We see that there by Nicholas Laguda. They will post here. I will say I will abolish e-levy bet tax and emission tax. Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia Samoa Okanye. Then anomia ako archives no ako twa screenshot dia ba die okojo upon chroma at April 14, 2022. I say Bawumia was instrumental in drafting e-levy tax, and this was published April 14, 2022. As a contradiction. And or no person chere We see that they Abba or say he just announced to Ghanaians he does not even deserve to be on the ballot. Yenuya Ekobenya also said also Ede Abba Enie Alhaji Pounds or say they are sleeping and Baumia is making noise. Obidio de Abba na Mentwaswa. One being who is making a post about Dr. Muhammad Baumia address no. Oh, let me see again. Okay. We do our post to Dr. Omane Boama, a former Minister of Communication, our Director of Election, and this is the Baumia Kae Baumia was instrumental in drafting e-levy tax. This was published April 14, 2022. Dr. Muhammad Baumia said obe abolish e-levy. Na person chese na wo kan ho bi ne de baye de a esi den ye nua ba ko de ko bi chei was it 2024 and we are still paying COVID levy. Leadership acting like the virus started from Ghana. Ye nua ko bi chei, one of the socialites we have in this country, ono so na some de about TV3 for our publish ye ono ni kutu or de bae we nana ya otwenebo a asamwa was say apprentice so see about me or see excuse my friend as a bro French na waka no we susu de ode abaye nua Freddy Al I say we hear cartoon da ha say no I say Dr. Muhammad Baumia nsem okan nyina no ya direct to the Yegata a che say ye bin and ko say Dr. Muhammad Baumia image and da ehonoma that's how people are reacting to Dr. Muhammad Baumia the poster and ode eba me hwe say me nya we fofra e de na Gabi as I said, because build the capacity of the African private sector is okay. On there, he's not talking about Dr. Muhammad, but okay. So Gabi says so narrator from local politics to no local politics. So Kabe mo also beka bibia for Dr. Muhammad Baumia because on this so called international. Okay, me sure say he was referring to Dr. Muhammad Baumia. Who else is talking about the Kojo Ponkroma Samo Kaino, Crofo screenshot and they are sharing. Now, and some Dr. Muhammad Baumia, I can be say one, Omobucha e-levy, Ombucha e-levy, after so a national service crown, and your compulsory open now obey and a home chronobar, and some who do be brave. But what time is it? Okay. I think someone has a mental issue. I'm not sure, say he was referring to Dr. Muhammad Baumia. Dr. Muhammad Baumia is mentally sound. Where is it then? Okay, he's talking about football. Football. But one thing I'm going to say, people will pay much attention to South Africa and Nigeria for much, than Dr. Muhammad Baumia. I don't know so kasa che ni dia. Mami mi ahoma ntum na ye nwa adwen kire emfa college base 5. Uti Dr. Muhammad Baumia ne nsema okan ye no sen na won so oje no bosha hodo a wa hye nani suadi hunu a ode a kire Ghana. De waye anase anda Nana Kufuor, the leadership or vice president or head of economic management team. Do my no aboboss one who says sanity. Hello, first caller.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, Penny. Pacho didn't be a casafi.
I'm a teacher, Siani Domani.
Pacho Yentio.
Nina say, and me, so here, Dr. Mamuba, we have a carrier, then come a Casacranke. You want to put the carrier in a Aqua said you afternoon in the worker. But I couldn't say, now we are a meet. The person you know, Utin Becker say, no more coaching in a not be expected to promise to be down or say more. So, on this Cape Coast, airport, any hammer, and he. On the mat, a dollar for more mutual kada, on the more a castle, and he. A man telling Mabawa, on behind and on the moment come walk behind them, and he. Oh, yeah, ever to you are. Or say a year obey a lady, on Pama. Yes, I said you are buying a woman, what that economic aim and beauty. Among answer the other Bakubuno, you can follow one on our back. They say, well, because you know, the Komodo, the other family, the Krum Party, Papa, may say, come corners or Ferrari, no, not the castle in the party. ɛsɛ nkɔm kasa sɛ ogu no wani ma so dodo minim ebi aso na do ɛpɛ ɔkɔ so a ma papa ne gu asekora awie ɛnyɛ sɛ afa deɛ de yɛ ɛsɛ bi akɔ akɔ sɛ bɔkala ɛde ntama na ɛnkɔmɔdɛ no hɔ no wa mɛkasa kora nkɛ yɛ mbi sɛ ɛbi aseɛ paa na aseɛ no ɔmo bɔde tiri apɛdi ama ne ho ɔneɛ ɛbɛdi bɛhu ɛyɛ cleaner na me nan paa ɛnsi hɔ da.
Okay. Yeah, that's Papa. You know about D Love ya also a comment on the buy. Where Asma Dr. Muhammad Bawumia 18th January 2023. I say all SHS students to receive free tablet this year. I just say some kind. And then soon some back I say we will implement one student, one laptop for tertiary student on a zero rate loan with a 70% discount on the costs of the laptop payable over 4 years. Now, the first one is not delivered until move question on they are all promising. Hello?
Hello?
Opening patrodin baby akasafi.
Me patron me kasafri katamansu.
Me patrodin.
FM fatao.
Patronti fatao.
Na bawya asabe no bawaka. No, okay, so onu obeso oncha ile. Iya mo do onye fi o obeso baba kasa na se o fi onye fi. Onu ne se o so ni kwasi a onja tran kwasi. Mama.
Okay, yeah, that's Papa. Yenya Dumevi Ponyo or ECG to switch the light off around UPSA. We are tired of Bawumia's negotiating talks. I think you know Kaniano, Dr. Muhammad Bawumia. So one thing I've realized is Dr. Muhammad Bawumia's speech, you know, every 30 minutes I'm winding, you know, now the sound on your cry. I feel the network was very poor. Hello, caller.
On my for Sami Huntor.
Opening Abaini.
Abaini or Casafre and Shama Zeno.
Abaini, Uti Dr. Muhammad Bawumia.
Na Sami Obia onu ni nyanse munu osi Ghana card eye 10,000 interchanges no mi kwa ko se madaji atie no anya mfaso be ye film abla ye bo South Africa ni ye friend se Nigeria enti man tie no enyumewe ya na meti se nkofo bi ka se papa we office Ghana for ye nye serious se oba onu be abolish yi levy. Nti na mi twenya asem program yi beba na metie ni nsem ni bia okikae na papa we no minim sebio de minim papa we de okaho na Ghana for di na tem no okaho pa na Ghana for di na tem o manu kuredie we di atro sa ma na ya recognize you say we are the most liar in the political history of this world. Say ban word that we know the political liar a tese unukure kanyi. Say, who ha na ye passing yi levy? Ayali for kura mu pushi omu momu ba parliament. E momu betu abasami mi bua. Inti die na asisa na enege wu be ka kire Ghana for say, who di owu pa, obe abolish yi levy. Also, according to you know, who ka una mu implement ade na samu di ba parliament. Inti papa we no office Ghana for say bi ye uru ye nim koso. Miti say o si wa oma employee embebru youth no unemployment no man too much abia sanity
yes, was MPP aban for the past 7 years I created 2.1 million jobs more than the government.
Wadaruma Abrana President Mahama wo no unemployment rate no na that saying
unemployment rate was 8%.
And then say wo
and almost 16%.
Papa we won Papa Bawumia we say one so anu a obedi na temama obi aka say wo ade because yamika hu
abaye Osi Bawumia speaks, move me from driver's mate to the driver. Bawumia please with Ghanaians. Dr. Muhammad Bawumia's were D-mate natchez. They say there when your licenses are on one so be me a driving to Ghana for your man a canon so in Chibi. Hello caller.
Hello.
Opening Pajodin by Akasafi.
The Kasafi are shaman from Frank Dad.
Me Pachent opening.
Maybe the question of the Emisatan or Asanozana.
Dabi.
On Asanoson, mobile candidate, movie, ADRO, seeing, make me say speaking, I think, the question now will be famous that an out answer. Answer manano.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yenya Neon Fallon or say someone said the speech was like the weather, hazy. Now I say, anyway, Pacho, say, we say the man goes plain tire. Hey, in his mind, Ghanaians have sung in their hairs. What? Hello, Pacho, didn't be a
hello.
Good evening, opening Pacho, didn't be a casefi.
You Pacho, me Pacho,
Pacho Frosting.
Yes, friend John.
Opening Pacho into you.
You, me president. Master Mohan say, me chief president and vice president in Wella. No, see, over these ministers 50. Now, but some say, I want to be vice president now in Tiswada. Master Mohan.
Okay, yeah, that's it. So, what will be the question? Henry K. Abutu was it so in effect, Dr. Baumia has thrown Nanado under the bus. Or also so Nadia, I don't know. Yenya Ishmael said Mumuni or say in a serious country, Baumia can't and won't even venture to speak to the public. Ubin Susudia or the Ebony. Pacho Sube to me Afre and Sana Fe, ya crossing over to the studio, Nampenyo for Abacho Madrid. We say I have sense more than a Kufuado, Dr. Baumia. That's 2024 UPS. The professor Chirano be in Tiasi. No. We say Baumia speaks, move me from driver, okay, driver is made to driver, main driver. And I say, Dr. Baumia appeal no was Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, opinion. Pacho din Rabia Kasafi.
Kasafi someone.
Pacho Yentio, Uding.
Your friend Amenyo.
Pacho Yentio.
Most in one and a Baumia.
Me Pacho and Dr. Baumia.
Iti omo mukotra ho nyina etie sasem no omo adadi ho omo hi adwuma bi ni o kasa no nyina na mi toilet so because your toilet so for so say metie Baumia. Iti toilet so because the see onu Baumia we papa we o kasa na osa ise obi o ye comedies e kiso concert party we shakai
toilet no de hin bi de aban si bia na wa de private
Debbie near or see or so see 300 something thousand toilet to Accra.
Yes.
Bakusu la meti.
Okay, yeah, that's it. At least Dr. Government, I see toilet I'm watching that. Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, near Ouswajua Afariwa or see cookathon and singathon all come inside. I say Dr. Muhammad Bamian Sema okay, I don't know. We see fellow Ghanaians remember the saying Kasatintin top ponko. I say, hello, caller.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, opening Pachodin by Yakasafi.
Mbacho midindi na bla mikasa free yendi.
Me Pacho yentio.
Mbacho la muse wane kasai. Baumia.
Me Pacho I vice president.
Musu muwadaji Ha? Seven previous papa ni nungwa diana.
Adai.
On peladie.
Adai.
Shede Ghana siko. Shede Ghana eko. Minia, nyamia kaya kuma. Papa yi yebedina sem. Nyami kaya kuma. Number 10 months no. Nyami nkuye. Ne yenchira ono ne matana. Esi po anye ye na alaba. Esi wanye ye na alaba. Dr. Bawuya kontompo bia wacha wa Ghana ha 2016. Nanda ura stay over president adi. Assemblyman kurawunya na president.
Okay.
Minia mikasa mekasa no.
Yeah, that's it. I feel for BB. We see the online passport application service was launched in 2016 by the NDC, Baumia and Lies, Yenia Fadi, and Ediwe Abba. Okay, Tia Pacho and for course, BM, I feel the officer will join here, Ober Sunday, WhatsApp, ADSC WhatsApp number and that screen is soon. I said, did he mention anything about CD to dollar? Yes, Dr. Baumia, I was say the rate at which CD depreciation happened our NDC from 2013 to 2016. No, what is to 2 MPP? The MPP is slower. and say a depreciation is slower than how ana etimi echo and then so say until you all or say until you abolish e-levy no where were you when your government was implementing we mami ke yani ankasa mami KOPK as so akotena America you say mami ke so America no tie no obisa Dr. Muhammad Bawumia say na nye bia wo so ba abolish e-levy no omo implement now we hemfa where were you just no question or the Evan. We say Daniel say I hope he didn't mention Mahama. Dr. Bawumia mentioned Mahama. It means we're disappointed. Abejo your major has say my memo makwaba. Honorable Emmanuel Alote, a parliamentary candidate man DC awanyaso to mabaton pisia eso sanso and yenua a citizen at Dazi Church of Open my Great Consolidated Popular Party GCPP and net Ofidium yenua Bengazi namkwanswa yewen enim so babeka ensa. Abejo former makwaba.
Yenua Huntor.
I'm chapomi ade.
Nyamiado.
The patrimony nyabre ATA Dr. Muhammad Bawumia, flag bearer MPP, Vice President and the Head of Economic Management Team. Patrimony tie.
Huntor. Amefa konya winchia na menchia council. Amenchia ahwefo so nyina anwumre. Frankly speaking, na my head tight kakla until what I did was that kakra me tie any kakra so and for like summary on social media. That is what I've picked so far. But say me tnasia me tie ni nyina no. Frankly speaking, that my head tight.
Okay.
So I couldn't do that.
Okay.
But I've heard bits and pieces of it on social media from in fact Nyan Crawford I can say in terms of their course nearby, you know. Any kind on social media no. And it's a summary of the whole thing there, you know, but details in management.
Okay.
On my part.
Citizen ultimate. So share no so.
Answer na minchia honorable Lotte. Minchia ashofo the membry wenyamber na wozitenya. Na oshofo ka some kra same okam. Na some okan de Sebin ko benyam breze te no ozeti ejanando so shofi we nyambre ozo hwe ne nyimbre. It shows how sebe yenman ka yefu de nka ye de yenobia bimu ya de joda wo hwe and they actually pay some kind of attention to us. Nti ashofo nyimbre ye chemo and medamase de munyambre na de bia mu de hwe amanyosem na yensu ye fom za ye beye magana wa fa ne tampe fan ye beye same me take kakra. In fact, unfortunately I mean I thought it was my network, but I realized that Kofu complained there.
Yeah.
Even on TV crowd,
on radio everywhere.
It wasn't that great, but I was following Asasi Radio their live feed and specifically for a reason. I jotted down some of the things that are mentioning.
Okay.
The latter part in the day, call off, so I couldn't. But then I jotted most of the things that he said, and I realized that Martin Kofu Bebriasia. When they said that you see we need leaders with a bit of integrity, yeah, a lot of it, but even a bit. If we get leaders who have a little bit of integrity, most of the problems of this country will be solved. Because I am so shocked. I am Ghana from Bebuna na Wajibo, the vice president and the flag bearer of the NPP, Alaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, I was asking myself there, I mean, he said a lot of things, but one of the things he said is, we don't need a leader who is about party, but a leader who thinks more about Ghana. Intina maybe some more there. Wankasa washa. The person who was speaking, was he speaking for Ghana? And Odo Ghana? Because I mean miti wosisi ya dibi wahano nkoye ya. I will talk about it. Mo ntwena member tina wo sit ni mu ansana makade bibi onkoye. I will express my views. And based on it, it would, if I feel there, I will say it publicly. Those who have followed me, there has really been times things have happened at the studio. I've said it publicly, and people are saying, okay, no. So, for me, if you are a vice president, not even a party communicator, to the extent that even ministers and MPs in the same party, we saw MPs who mounted platforms to speak against something else going on in government. Now, say a vice president also with a vision, which is very different from that of the president. I couldn't talk about it. When two one can want some, when two one young she. Now, actually, if we would have been nasi, still in young she, a train a young fa, see an emma one sana, a bibia. Then what integrity do you have? Based on what should I believe you? Based on what should I trust you? That I can entrust this nation into your care. The preamble to something he said, Obi can want some. Also, an efficient system of government will require even fewer ministers. Underline the word, an efficient system of government will require even fewer ministers. I will have, therefore, not more than 50 ministers and deputies. The vice president is telling us there an efficient system of government, which means that he does not even think that the system going on is efficient. Because if it is efficient, why are you having 100 ministers or 90 ministers? But he's saying if it's efficient, it will require even far less than 50 ministers. But he has been quiet. He has not criticized what is going on. He is shifting blames. Obia Etido, you are a vice president, in your party communicator, in your branch executive, regional or whatever executive. Even you are not a national, you are the vice president. So I am young because generally I feel that he is a fine gentleman. Probably he could do better. But when you let partisanship from when you want a wide dream, to the extent that a can be a obi on tasi.
Okay, my some of the highlights in Semahudo be our kind or say many KIAs don't use headpans now because of digitalization. Dr. Baumia or says a KIA for the one and no use pine because of digitalization. Now I don't know how digitalization etimi every place will be a kaya. I don't know. Another one, see, e-levy will be abolished. I just said e-levy no a idea on another by on between. E-levy no so according to Kojo upon Kroma, Dr. Muhammad Baumia was very instrumental or can be no more drafting e-levy tax no. I just say yeah. And Dr. Baumia so about obey to me. Why can't he abolish it now? And here one question. So another one was saying there will be no import duty on solar panels. There will be no import duty on solar panel. I can say under NDC a brand dum so I'm the policy whereby I just say wow self-sufficient and to work yeah or more solar panel when you be assemble Ghana has a manufacturer no na a duty free. Dr. Baumia says or no be president we import it and yama efa a yes solar panel and as a solar one, they say ubitia tax. We will adopt electric vehicles for public transportation. Or say electric vehicles, the Senka STC, Metro Mass, and the Ayalulumono, they are the electric vehicles. And a Bayajuma, so by your man Penia. Assemba can say NSS will not longer be mandatory. As a national service scheme, no, we use Japan University, and your share open abaye opa wonye. Dr. Muhammad Baumia. We will eliminate VAT on electricity, emission, and bed tax. This will be our mampenia. 15% tax a year to a year electricity no be free ho. Emission tax a year VCA tax no be after betting tax and also bind the abano. Dr. Muhammad Baumia say and also about obey edi free ho. So most of enyama Dr. Muhammad Baumia no. Enyama why implement under his leadership as a head of economic management team taxes ahodoɔ a implement no and also about obitwam. But as to why I was supporting that tax in there, now what trends about be omampeni and sunways tax in the fraud there. I may say be between actually. I mentioned some free honorable alutu. Raining some who be Dr. Muhammad Bawumia. I can work up or kasa about. Then some ne what na ye trends and Quebec kasa we intermediate me to chat. Then some many be back. Time or kasa we and I production time na spy. And Tiamayan to me and yet for China be a sure say bit me as a production. Catch me too.
Sammy, once again, Mami Chia, like I said, no, my details, but I've gotten the summary of most of the things are okay. Okay. Frankly speaking, sometimes we have to restrict ourselves as to what to say. Because one in a year, a vice president of the country. But I don't know how the vice president of this country and who Ghana for. Because me Kaipa 2015-2016, but 2014-15, occurrence in all the various secondary schools and tertiary institutions, whether university, polytechnic, teacher training, nursing, and so on. It can never be brave. At a point, not yet series of lectures at was Central University, and he said a lot. I believe it was part of the Niamono Kayen, and I complimented the effort of Akufo-Addo, and I Ghana for the 2 minutes in him. In fact, Akufo-Addo say all knowledge in economics in a and no one because the man understands economics. On him is the economic wizard, and he as what the running mate and the vice president candidate because he knows all those things. The same person is what the head of the economic management team. In fact, the economic management team was subcommittee on economic policy, which is supposed to track monetary policy. Honsu he also chair and heads that subcommittee. And from what we have learned over the 7-8 years now, Nepano has been involved or very instrumental in everything. Sometimes, or to me, here meeting, okay, time or call the Pentecost prayer camp, for instance.
Yeah.
It's a Niamona or Nononi or Akufo-Addo, MPP Abayan or Moye. He even goes further to say a lot of things, and most of the achievements, dwells on toilets and empty toilets. Yes. So if you have been part and parcel of this government, and now we say you want to become the president of this country, and you speak this way, then what have you been doing as a vice president? Because as a vice president, cabinet meeting, Otinubi. Sometimes the president comes to me and chair cabinet meeting. Automatically, you chair the cabinet meeting. As the head of the economic management team, the economy is everything. Education is economy. Health is economy. Everything about the country. You heard everything. So if you are saying this is today, then it's serious. Very, very serious, Sammy, for Ghanaians. Because we, or mine, me said, your ideas and everything. In fact, your leader, as a president, say, because you have this experience, because you are endowed with all these things, it's say all these things, and no antenna on our buy, So when you come and speak this way, as if saying you have not been part of it, you don't know anything, then it's serious. And for me, it casts a doubt on your integrity. Say, Uyobia, yen to mean Jiundi. Because, number one, Sammy, you are part of the government, Omodi e-levy ebaye. I know, Ukrasikana se usenia, Ubejunsa. Sometimes, you look at the distance and say, no, I mean 99 from Komano. And I say, I mean, Shani Pan Ewan. Because you look at the charges, it's serious. You are part of the government, cabinet decisions, and today you are saying, say, you are a man of your own actions and plans into Oba Betrim. Then what have you done? I still don't understand the whole thing. Say, is it possible, say, Mecca, to say, what's to say, no, many only council will decide on something. Now you need to say, yeah, dear we. Now, Abia, as I say, may pray, say, among the three of us, no, ye me as a leader, no. Now, may you be away from say, Debbie, maybe bar, me yenisa. It simply means that I'm not even a team player, me bwana. I don't even know what I'm talking about. So you have been part and parcel of the whole thing. And then you will say, Uba, you can't say e-levy. I don't get the whole thing. But don't forget, say, NDC has never supported e-levy because when we say e-levy will more or less derail the gains we've made in the area of what using technology and as creating the cashless society. You know, it will derail the gains. So we have never been part of it. In fact, if you look at all the processes, we voted against it. Inti ube kaipa, Ora Mahama, Ora Sidiketi as chairman of the NDC party. I can say when we come e-levy, we abolish. Is it that on also a copy biana? Essence ya kanenzi on also a copy ana. I don't get the whole thing. Sometimes when I sit down and I think I'm like, how do they see us? Say Ghana for to mean G. Because you are part of it. Like I said, cabinet meeting. Say President, you chair cabinet meeting. And e-levy is about tax mobilization, it's about raising revenue. So it falls under the economic management team. You are the head. You are passing Ghana for if you have 1,000 cities on your wallet, let's say, you'll be paying to the telcos, you'll be paying the e-levy. And then also, essentially, NDC Akase, I don't know, and yet, because we know, a taxa, it will derail the gains we have made in creating a cashless society in the also KB. Then a copy just copy what NDC is doing, saying, then number 2, on the tax on betting, you are the head of the EMT. I believe that before finance minister will draft the financial proposal for the year, what we call the budget normally for the year, because they have to consult you and they will look at how to generate revenue. Various tax handles are ready to generate revenue. You are part of it. Say one of the ways by which the government can raise more revenue through tax is they will put tax on betting. You were involved. That's one side of the budget before you come to the expenditure. One can say, and now all please you see, I will abolish it. Again, NDC quickly told you that we don't support the tax on betting. First of all, betting, we even your first one there be. So you see your bar, and you also comparing the same thing. So are you really a man of your own where you can take your own actions? It's serious.
Don't say about me copy more.
Copy.
My ideas.
Yes, clearly. Never can you know, and then UPS here, he has rehashed everything. He has repeated everything. Then this man who can be and I drafty document to the IMF. According to Mono, you went with your homegrown solution. IMF to Emamu, because IMF knows everything about the economy. Emamu, conditionality. You agreed and signed the agreement. And IMF Asati. Now, he said you charge VAT on electricity. Who say Uba, you abolish it. And the IMF, no, who be another one. See, the man is not a team player. The man is not a team player. So, I don't know what the ABA near Yetino, ABA Antini. Because if you tell me you are going to abolish VAT or you never make you make sure we don't put VAT on electricity, you the document in there called IMF no, like you didn't listen. One really be you claim who now say and I say boss say you ask him you know everything and you saw it, but today you are telling me you will not charge way.
But when you talk about a exchange rate, ACD depreciation, the rate at which NACD depreciated under NDC from 2013 to 2016 was faster than a year or more. Do you know what I'm saying now? Yeah. Let me explain. See, under NDC, exchange rate, the dollar to the cedi was 4.2. Under MPP, currently 12.6. Let's not even go to whether faster, we say boat or slower. They say tortoise. Let's not even go there. What it simply means is very simple. Sammy,
me ne wunyina say ye didwa TMU under NDC na say ye kraniama worth of $100,000 ebeton Sidia Odobe Faniama no 420,000 Ghana cedis. Me boa. Because 420,000 Ghana cedis will give you equivalent $100,000. And it is serious, I say no. There are cameras all over. And the ABI, you deal in cameras. And the Upe, do na one container now, all day, Baba Tama media houses in Yinano. You need $100,000. Until we pay 420,000 Ghana cedis, it will go accountable. Now, what catch your bank say? Omu yet letter of credit to so and so in China. Now what here? Say, this are same. You want to say, yeah, for one container worth of what? Cameras worth $100,000. How much are we going to put in our account? That is 1.26 million. So whether fast or not, no. First, no, we here 420,000 to bring one container of what? Cameras. Say no, you need 1.26 million to bring the same amount. Otherwise, I say we have half container. Maybe one, very simple. And what it simply means is that I say we have 3 times of the amount. 3 times of the amount anchor would import the same thing. So whether fast or slow, I need more money. So the second home above from 3 times. And we will be a woody gun. Let's say only 1.26 million now. Then you have to do a quarter of a container. Meaning say we can ashi. Whether fast or slow, ashi. Number 2, exchange rate have serious consequences and I say effect on under NDC here 1 to 4.2 no, $1 to 4.2 no. Now a bro button AI Sami 90 Ghana cedis. And the who see who then is slow, no fast no. And then a bro bottle 900 Ghana cedis. From 90 to 900 no. Which one is fast or slow? Very simple. Sardine, Titus, under NDC, 3 cedis. You can check it. And then 10 cedis. So whether it was fast or slow, in terms of Nimana Yetono, 10 cedis and 3 cedis. Obahonsu be abium under NDC. To me, 150 Ghana cedis and 25 kg of weight of rice. And then you need the same for the same size of rice, 25 kg. You need 450 to 500 Ghana cedis. So whether fast or slow, I dare no price are cost, and it's all due to what the exchange rate. Also, the reason why I didn't want to go there is to say, oh no, feel say baby, sebi. Yet to me doing kweche, we can't be smart in our thinking. It is all no. Until let me say this and go away. But you see, it makes no sense. If Obibe2 exchange rate 1 to 1.2, that's $1 to 1.20 pesos. That's time on Oracle for Econo. And then time on also Econo, and moving from the 1.2 to 4.2 or the 3 series account. And I want to but who the 8 series 40 pesos account. We'll say what then is lower than medium. And we can go on and on. The reason why Toyota Yaris, I mean when you know toy under Mahama 2016 around 22,000 and then 80,000. The reason is what exchange rate. Maybe what?
Sure.
It is a Yaris 2016 22,000 Ghana cedis. I know you told me 80,000. The difference is about 58,000 Ghana cedis. And you tell me say over time no. The decline in terms of the value of the currency, is slower. Maybe they are faster. I don't know what at all you are doing in the Jubilee House. I don't even think you deserve to be there. You see, say Ghana is just country. The so-called professors of economics, finance, accounting, and so on must get up and tell the man to leave the office. It's an insult to us because everything that has happened has translated into in fact, due to the exchange rate, it means inflation 54%. I have been seeing that in the last 40 years. So, Udeni is lower, Udeni is faster. But look at NDC. Time of NDC, the rate was 4.2. Now, inflation was 15.4. Udeni call 15 cities, inflation was 54%. So it's clear say uchantro. What chantro sa 2014 uchantro, 15 uchantro, 16 uchantro. Every we need power. What chantro sa say o dey manage country no. Enko ye bibia say and you're still repeating it. Can't you see and change? It's like I'm saying say Ghana for a serious plan. I think the academia must stand up and tell the man to leave the office. Now you can't say even the next level I will present you change you from mate to driver no. You don't deserve it. Kakra miti here. Na network we no in my car miti here say upobia or I mean somebody who is credible and who can work hard to change the nation. And I was like, this man. Because if you are looking at Obia, somebody who is credible, I don't know how to even put the credible in the tree. Sami Boame.
Obia sebio odimu owomudi ana
Okanukre.
Obia obetimi do ho atono so.
So no, yes. I mean, look at you. Time a wo ba no, o campaign na say economy na nko year. Look at the exchange wankasa. Time and obedient enam 3.5 or so no. O see once the economy is deteriorating no, o be say won share exchange rate. Time a wo dey say enam 7 8 ye kind no. O see if you think that way no, it's warp logic. Are you credible? You set your own parameter. Say obi ebu mine. Na say niema nko year. Look at the exchange rate. At that time, it has moved from 1.2 to somewhere 3.5. Obia G to say, Sena exchange rate are moving from 1.2 to 3.5. No, meaning say, I don't know, air affect economy. No, Uba, you didn't do 7. No, from 3.5 to 7. No, you see there be if you think that way, that is warp logic. Are you credible? Sammy, are you credible? Uyobia, can we rely on you? Someone, a Juma Yediama assemblies, assemblymen, municipalities, you know, our multi toilets. Those were the achievement. You did a whole program. Can say we have built more toilets, and you say you are credible for me to what? To rely on you to build Ghana. Obi Oka team one, and then you see Ilevia. I say you see Ghana for every up. People are moving from. People are not keeping cash, you know. What you? One can wish. According to you, no, you are from what you are saying, meaning say you are against it. What jumping from the same ship? Can say maybe by me. Are you credible, Sammy? You see, I can go on and on and on to tell you, say, Orabaumia has no credibility. Say Ghana Fopa will rely on him to change this in this country. How and where? As a team player, you have shifted away from everything. Emission tax, you say you if you come, it will not come. Betting na your youth no kakra omoso monya no, you are taxing 10% withholding tax, and once you say I'll cancel it. No. How can you be a credible person? So maybe I don't know, Sammy. Okay. You have to help me to understand Uraba, because Obi Kasa say I don't know what again we are going to say. But you see from just suppose Uraba with the current leader and flag bearer of the NDC. This is a man with so much credibility, Sammy. Time I don't so SCN. I say yes. But when say high, I didn't cause it. SC Rollins Abreso, Oracle Fonto SCN, Mills into SCN. But maybe time I ever I will fix it. And also a survey, a fix here with what over 5,000 megawatts of what installed capacity. Eddie Maye. He set up buffers to take care of data at the energy sector or the ESLA ebaye. So within 5 years, we mobilize enough to pay off the debt. You have extended the ESLA levy beyond the 5 years. You have even used the money as collateral to take more loans. Bonds are like you can't even pay the bondholders. And then pensioners are suffering. They can't even you see, this is a man. Can say credibility. Everybody can see, say he solved the problem. He never blamed anybody. Say, let anything happen. COVID-19, say end this any Mahama. The next is COVID-19. The next is Russia-Ukraine. I'm surprised for Palestine, Israel, right of late. Those are the people you put the blame on. But Mama confronted the challenges and the issue. And so, time and name you see, look, we are going to the IMF. But first of all, my friend, a meeting at Senchi. Na Obian for Nadrim. Because when we say, Nyansa Wowen and Nibako for him. Yet Nasi, a drafty homegrown solution, echo IMF, with time, this is the man that Ghana for to me rely on. Say, Oba. He can continue the same path and change things. And in every sector, you can see his signature. You can see Adebia, oh yeah, a sumbo. You have nothing. And you are telling us that you are credible. Say we should rely on you. Who are washing toilets?
Okay. You've done 20. All right. Citizen, Dr. Muhammad Bawumia of the innovation. Or say because of digitalization, the kai for crano. And home chronobar. Wakasa for more than almost 2.5 hours. Or the innovation, the OIE, the now buying IE, any the oppressor or Twaswa or the EBA. Your holistic assessment on Dr. Muhammad Bawumia's vision.
So, first of all, I think it was a colorful event. Where the Ghana is very colorful event. A lot went into it. The organization and the architecture, everything, the branding.
But the production was poor.
And all that. I want the Skaku. But I don't know why they had a serious issue with production. I don't know. I wonder what Basim also fine. So it created a lot of inconvenience for road users. Kofu Bibria minimum they were there. They are not MPP members, but Wakechem they were told to come, and Yamakakra. Some were involved to do protocol and all those things. So they were contracted to do it. So yeah, I mean it's good there about line division. But if I look at, he tried to mention some of the achievements of this administration. Also, this administration has constructed more roads than any other government. They have also constructed more railways than any other government. I mean, one maybe some more than I don't know, from 92 and from Infa.
Any other government, so since
independence. Railway, all Ghana.
Any other government, crowd, even referring to the colonial government.
Any other government. Anyway, telephony network expansion, more than any other government. More fishing landing beaches than any other government. More sports stadiums than any other government. The sports stadiums. Well, now, I am one when he talked about they provided free water and electricity during COVID. Free. I was shocked. But I mean, based on what you see, so me all these things and Mr. O say MPP mapa na ehweme imbria. I just want you to just think of this. There's a in your MPP, just be a normal Ghanaian. Listening to somebody who is a current vice president. I should mean Ghana and Brazil Yamati. Ne be someone there. Say it there will be a opportunity or you're very close. Sometimes yeah, better TV do crampono. Kofi there we are yakasa would begum. So they talk through us to make an influence. Until we want me better now be so nunsumba ne pipe mba ana inyeme no accident be esi. Sometimes even the media you are even encouraged to say something for people to hear, to make an influence. Now, a sitting vice president, not a former or a past, a sitting vice president, say, on the solutions to the current problems of this country. This is the irony. I mean, a certain vice president says he knows the solution to the current issues of this country. Most of them, they copy and paste. And other leaders want some more kind of work copy now, because in the island was on Atasem Pose. And this is some of the things. Nina Mu a NBC about that they will abolish levy, they will do this. Nina, emission tax. I'm seeing all these things here. So I thought today, say, I'll worry the same thing and can go beyond it a little bit to explain if you want, where are you going to get the revenue? Because you already have revenue shortfalls. You have revenue gaps. Ghana, one of our serious problems is our revenue generation. So if, because we need certain revenue, see, say, debt restructuring, you tune chair count. Here too. Nasi, yes, can I say, it may be all these taxes. It can home away implementer. What would be your alternative source of generation of revenue? I thought we would have gone beyond that. Tell us. But it became the normal rhetoric. COVID-19 tax. I thought they can work on. Because you want to one of your achievements is giving free water. Free water here. We've been paying this COVID-19 levy since 2021. To date. So which one? Somebody, I will eliminate. I will introduce business-friendly flat tax regime. Sami inkawana na abo of 2%. Then I see you are serious enough. You've thought through it. You've seen how much it can be coming in for the budget year for whichever year that you are coming. I would have seen you as very serious. But you just said that you introduce business-friendly flat tax regime. You change the tax regime.
So kind of flat.
Yes. But is this really what we need as a people? Is this tax regime? I pay the system. Na kaye ye. Some say because of Ubanti, ebia ibotu mejina wona order Uber. Na wadi nyama munan moda ba no pedo because eko makola. How does makola back busy place no? Na ma tonya mewe na muntu minkare. Based on what am I in thisakaye for everybody and I wear or when was the last time I call makola? You see, some of our leaders, they be a mechanic. Looks like they don't travel out of Accra. And even in Accra, they don't go to certain places. So sometimes, Wakasa, you want to try, you don't really see they are speaking to the issues. What really people are facing. Some of them call tiptoe lane. Tiptoe lane. Circle, a higher tiptoe lane. Because of digitalization, it's it is not even accessible. Certain places are not accessible. It is a kind of digitalization to go for a head panel. I need to carry it. How would I get it out? Because Uber crowd will find it difficult to go to that place to go and pick it. And he was talking.
In fact, I wasn't coaching because I see I will say, Uber Patuka offer CMB. For Honoma, a crowd, Boom say, Kai free. Sabro Modra Bontin or more pines, Sissy Honum, which now you see them, they are there. I'm trying to.
I'm not going to see a yamon on one sea.
Who's the way? Or my so many.
So
I'm trying to understand how digitalization betimi a link e reduce kaya yini a wono no head pan of mementiase because we digitalization
ebia na wa create some software kai you know odu nche a nemesi oppress na nem akogu kanu. That's the only way. Otherwise I don't see why technology will change the courage of the Yemen from maybe I would into the car.
I don't really
until I make say the software app be in the ufre na oda try Yemen pa kanu. And this is the
now, as we speak, we don't technology be ultimate.
So Sami, bottom line
is where the wire was on his speech.
Yes.
First,
yes.
Almost 1.5 hours.
Yes. So Sami, what it simply means is that one cannot create.
Okay.
That's the whole thing.
Sami, another thing, National Cathedral. I was expecting to hear something about that.
I didn't mention it.
The wastage in the system. Wastage in the system. National Cathedral. Sika yede tamonada ho. As we speak, we don't know our way forward. Bosha who are washing and we don't know our way forward. Nothing is happening. Agenda 111 promises a woman I was surprised he was saying that Agenda 111 was under his watch. How many of the Agenda 111s are operational? When they said they are launching it in the next 18 months, right?
Yeah. President was he gave a timeline, said the project will be completed within 18 months, so 1.5 years. And we are almost 3 years.
You see, no kwasa, Sami. Ye Amanyosem, ye political partisanship, echirinti. One man no kwasa. You know, and earlier I was saying there, we need leaders who are passionate about Ghana. I want Ghana ne kanko ne ni ye. But ye you be a otum hweyim okan nsem onye no kwar ma okan mo ye dawde a omama nkofo ajedi nti nde mehu minuanum bi a they are saying this is the best da and I'm like what didn't we hear before 2016? Yatisika so na comedy. Who said it? And what are we seeing now? The one who said Yatisika so na comedy is the president. Or no, vice president. Nakade your mate. What is happening now? The person who said it there, or the economic wizard, Afano as vice president to deal with the economic situation in Ghana. Now the same person now Afan as a wizard to deal with the situation that we should find ourselves in. That this is the best time your utility player will show why you have that player in the team. What's the Debbie? Me mate. What's the Debbie? Me a further. Me a striker. I mean, I'm of no use. Famuko Teyimu as a striker before I can score. You see, he made a profound statement that in his adult life, all he does is about finding solutions. If the vice president really care about you and I as Ghanaians, in his adult life, all he does is about finding solutions. He would have found smart solutions into solving the issues we find ourselves in, even as a vice president. Because he really cares. Into any limitation, because if you find a stumbling block, and because you love to find solutions, you find a way around it to solve it. Because as he lead now, or the two mission win sim, then you maybe will take lead on it. Until he take lead on it, no one soon that way ya menyeno or you mo. Teachers are suffering. Kayayis are suffering. Doctors are suffering. Nurses are suffering. Journalists are suffering. Businessmen and businesswomen are suffering. Traders are suffering. Drivers are suffering. We are still suffering. So what is your innovative way in finding solutions that you say that you there or who there to find solutions until when you solve things you are so happy? Unfortunately, the president is in need of a problem solver. Somebody who will solve the problems of this country. Now, inflation moved from 50% up to 28%. We've turned the corner. We've turned the corner. Ghana. When it was 15%, in there it is at 27%. It's young more there. Our buffet fee 15 now to 53. Asenso daba 27. It's more. And it will be my knowledge be there. Opado yene mame da. Woka bi Beyonce there be me mame bada. Na ni anka yene kasa de Mary ye yim no ye bususam. Ye bususam da ba dream po da nyu mame bada. Now see I say okay, me ankra kanti, ma asesa madwen. Nti mumbonse mam de sisi ame mame da. Sabi waranka kwa siezi na kwa akoye jimizi na kwa akoye na wani wa kasa na asesa esi yense mbonse mo ile wana zibai VAT 15% of VAT na mu introduce wana de bai more ye Ghana for kasa organized labor kasa tisi ana twa won se ba ntie na yembonse mo in America da na yesma ye na chisin ya esi yembonse mo. Sometimes it's tiring. I don't know. It's very tiring, and I think we shouldn't even waste a lot of time on these things because, he has said his vision. It is up to Ghanaians. I mean, I would the damn mistake. They be a mechanic. You see, never again. The mistake of listening to some of these rhetorics. Na yimpana or kasana kasano. Said bekakran what's it? To whom much is given, much is expected. Ya mana kwenja iba no die so you meet kakana what the mon Jesus nyimpa na woman okro. She said you see the parable of that that is exactly what is being emi wa mam president wa mam vice ntimuntu ma yehwe ntim onso mo hwe as president. That the parable that is exactly the same thing. There what the Wamo Kuriso emi kupa na mede man musro unto find him to two form na mede show into wawadi. Damna wakache Ghanaians. We didn't give him the presidency, your man the driver role, your man mate into my entry. Yamfa ninsi driver CNH, the CNH da obotu monyako. A mate I take calm car na tire pay. After the car na tire pay. And can't driver. Hi di actually am a kayak pim pine. Is it? Still team in your shade. Young Maudun fee a mate, your phone kisses CNH and Sana, and we answer that in your bed for baby. Eh, Nayan so see more than Mukana and Yaso Sayala.
Okay, but make a Facebook comment, Kakra. Nina, or say hello, Huntor. Okay, my Michelle. Yenya Erica Abuaje say I'm here, or she says Nina, or say hello, Huntor. Where is the drill ship? Katie Amon, and on the phone to Kano. Ophelia Yamba, so share Yenya away. Felix was about me paint na yento dada na Wenya Kweku Banama. Did I see someone like Asamoah? Yes, Asamoah was there live. Yenya Ike Isaiah or say absolutely amazing. Samson na Juliet Nasika Nogbe or say all that Baumia said was waste ball and kwa Kweku Banama say when was he? When they were implementing the emission tax, was he not part of the cabinet? VIP is standing alone. Maria Adam said, Baumia, I don't know how to describe this. Okay, Baumia is a complete scam and nothing else. Kwame P. Kuma P. Jr. was saying, Huntor, this tax will not be taken off. This MPP government, led by Nana Addo Bawumia, are just a biggest mistake Ghana ever made. Or say Nana Addo and Bawumia will be the worst people ever to govern Ghana in this fourth republic. But we have learned our previous mistakes by voting for this clueless, useless, visionless, laziest, shameless, wicked, arrogant, corrupt, and highly super incompetent MPP government led by Nana Addo Bawumia to power to destroy this beautiful and lovely country. Say hashtag JDM 2024, Mahama Beba 2024. Yenya Nedia or de Ebaeno. Sanso Ana Yenya Adams at the wood or so on top. Okay, Kofi Yaira was it Bawumia is also doing submission with lies like Nana Addo. Fellow Ghanaians, don't make that mistake again. Yenya Alima to Sadia or Suman Nuruddin was a good job, Hunter. Stephen Amos Yati was say, you are making a good point. Okay, Maria Adam was say Bawumia is a scam. And no trail was say Bawumia allow the taxes on us so he will come and remove them. Hey, the guy doesn't think much of us at all. He says we are all fools. Okay. Where is the other Abba? Oh. Okay. After when you Haiti, enough was say, I think Bawumia is on a mission to collapse MPP party. The thing no make sense. Yenya David McAfee Donyo say after telling us from taxation to production, Bawumia is now singing it wasn't me. He's still telling us that he is not responsible for the haircut, high utility, high interest rate, high exchange rate, high inflation, e-levy, etc. But was the same person taking credit when the indicators were good in 2017 as a result of JM's work? Rest in peace, and Mr. Atta. You were right about Bawumia that he's a textbook economist. Watching live from Ontario, Canada. Also keep up the good work, Sammy. That's papa. Yenya Boatin Atta Bismarck. Was Bawumia in the cabinet when they introduced these taxes? Insane. Faisal Muntaro say, good evening, Sami. Wallahi, Bawumia. I say, to think he can fool Ghanaians again. He practically stole things JM already stated emphatically that he will cancel. Typical example is e-levy. E-levy removal, JM openly promised. Also, the 50 ministers, JM promised cancelling birth tax and etc. Indeed, end of the road has come for Bawumia and MPP. This is a man who gloats a lot. This is a man who gloats a lot, Faisal Mutaru. And gloats a lot with his failures, corrupt and criminal activities like the PDS. Bawumia is Dadana. He only copied good policies of JM and NDC. Kudos to Honorable Alote and SP, Bosu citizen. Or someone thought you are the best. Faisal Mutaru Nidia or the Abre and okay. And Mamma WhatsApp so dear Abakakra Nafe Yentuaswe. Your WhatsApp one Oma the Bible say, good evening. Good evening, Huntor. God bless you for the good work. And this Bawumia guy is just a comic relief comedian, and I wonder why Obi, Foster Romanus, DKM, Funny Face, and Suarez are not inviting him to their shows. Huntor, this guy is just clueless, laziest, shameless, wicked, arrogant, visionless, highly super incompetent indeed. He just shot his own foot. Yenya Kumapi and anyway Abre. Huntor, these taxes will not be taken off. This MPP government led by Bawumia, Macam message way or Facebook. We say good evening, Sammy, and the entire cross. The vice president is telling lies. Why are you still telling lies? Oh no. We say good evening, Sammy. I think all persons who want to lead this country must have their heads extremely examined, because what I listened was nonsense. I'm Emmanuel from Kutubabi down. Obisoma score line. DR Congo say Cote d'Ivoire fashion. We say, my name is Godfred Asan from Ashaiman, Kataman. So say promised land, Dr. Congo. Hey, the score line on the my. Brasame was I'm King David from Kaswa, Ano Town. Greetings to incoming MP Honorable Felicina Koyu. I was say, what kind of word can be used to describe this Bawumia cry? We say good evening. I predicted it correctly, and Bawumia has proved me right that he's only coming to repeat his lies. He came to do pick and choose what was convenient for him. Where he thinks his government performed, he took the credit, and where the government is underperforming, he claimed to be only a mate to a driver. Was he, Bawumia, not the one who set some 170 questions for the late vice president as mate to respond? Why didn't he, Bawumia, tell us about all the failed promises he gave in the run-up to 2016 elections and beyond? Shameless Vice President Bawumia should accord Ghanaians with some modicum of respect. Amanwura Peter, and do a free Sunyane, New Domadia Bray. We say good evening, Mr. Same Huntor, please. My name is Evans Apambila from Kumasi, Abuabu. I say I hope this time Ghanaians will have short memory, because this man, his brain is full of lies. We say good evening, my boss. I don't know what to say. From taxation to production, now from taxation to digital taxation. Hey, Mr. Intom and NCDA Abre. Pacho subeti me do message in Abre Nyaken and the amount of a yentua. So now, President Mahama.
Do you understand the obsession about 24-hour economy, everything 24-hour that he was talking about?
You know, sir, a politics, you know. When your opportunity now, you try to know to so obey defeat, be a smoker, but I think say Bawumia.
Then it was a wrong approach. I don't think it worked.
Anyway, former President Mahama also make a statement now today. Or set what say baby economy or the jay edema MPP government me caso be inherited mess the giant mess me patriotic former President Mahama Nafe yen share and so ayenua Benghazi 30 minutes into the show, my friend and I say Omoko communications meeting and on to me Ember and among who in Benghazi of NPP. Okay. And the patriotic for my President Mahama Nayemra. We Benghazi, we yes say, we your bar, Mabusa be weda. When you say about the Sangra, about 10:37. We your bar now to choose baby na ekesia. Eda wa woso. So three ben one, wajen in tem. Oko next week, we have beto Bawumia. Ase me enti ka ba kan na anko ye ne ekoye ni. Patriotic for my President Mahama Nayemra.
We always talk about the mess John Mahama left us, the economic mess he left us. I mean, let's just go down and let me put this thing to rest once and for all. They always talk about the mess John Mahama left us, the economic mess he left us. I mean, let's just go down a comparison lane. When I left office, the debt to GDP was 57%. Today, the debt to GDP is more than 100%. It means if you take all Ghana's GDP and you turn it into money, you use it to pay all our debts and you still owe 3%. Our debt to GDP was 57%. And the optimum GDP for middle income countries that is recommended by the IMF is 60%. So we're even under the recommended debt to GDP. When we left office, the budget deficit was 6.6%. Today, the budget deficit, it even went to 15%. It has now started dropping. When we left office, inflation was 15.5%. Inflation under this government went to 54% and is only now dropping. It's about 30%. When we left office, cocoa production was 960,000 metric tons. And we went for syndication loan of $1.8 billion, brought $1.8 billion into this country. Today, cocoa production is under 500,000 tons. And when they went for syndication, they got only $800 million. At 8%, we got 1.8 billion at 2%. And so what are you talking about? You can't compare the economy under us. When we left office, we gave you 2 new oil fields. All the work that we did as NDC was with 1 oil field, the Jubilee field. We worked and brought the 10 field and the Sankofa field into production. And so it made oil revenues triple. When we left office, we had solved Dumso. We bought enough generation. We established ESLA to pay the legacy debt. Today, Dumso is back. You can't pay the independent producers. And all of you know Dumso is back, just that they don't want to announce a timetable. Yesterday when I came to Tamale, the lights were off the whole day. And so, this thing they keep saying, Mahama left a mess, we came and repaired your mess. Before I left office, the IMF said that Ghana's economy was going to grow by 8%. And it grew by 8% and more in 2017. And in 2018, it dropped. When their own policies started kicking in, you look at the GDP growth rate. From the high of 8% that they inherited from me, the next year it went to 6 point something, 5 point something, until when COVID hit, it went to 0. So that myth about you left us a mess, you left us a mess. When you came into office, the Kufuor Eurobond was left with 270 million to pay. Where did you get that money to pay? Mahama left it in the sinking fund because I knew that debt was coming up. That was visionary because I knew that if a new government came, it was going to be difficult to find 270 million at once to pay off the Kufuor Eurobond. So we left it in the sinking fund. They came and met it. In October, they just took it and paid the Eurobond. And after that, they didn't put any money in the sinking fund again. That's why when COVID hit, we had no money to defend ourselves. I set up the stabilization fund. When COVID hit, they didn't know where to find money. We told them, go and look in the stabilization fund. I left money in there. Went and took 300 million, from the stabilization fund. I set up the Ghana Investment Infrastructure Fund, the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. And I put $270 million seed money in that fund. Today, that's what you are using to build your Agenda 111 hospitals. So how can I have left you a mess? They are good at propaganda. And so they just keep repeating something. Oh, we came and met your mess. We came and met your mess. In 2016, for the first time in Ghana's history, we ran the government budget without taking 1 CD from the Bank of Ghana. 0 borrowing from Central Bank. You in 2021, 42 billion, you made Central Bank print for you. The following year, 2022, 35 billion, you made Central Bank print for you. And that is why today, Central Bank is broke. Because it made a loss of more than 60 billion cedis. When I was president, Central Bank made a profit of more than 1 billion cedis. And so that propaganda must stop once and for all. You didn't inherit a mess. You inherited an economy that was doing well. It is you, by your mismanagement, your clueless finance minister, and your clueless head of economic management team, who now wants to run away from economic issues to become the
So, Mampinada John Dramani Mahama, economy will leave behind the man Dr. Muhammad Bawumia as a head of economic management team and Anadwa Bain and I watch the Cocoa grow for a sinking fund, other infrastructure development fund and in almost set it up a team eboaye and waki canine. But anyway, where Mampinada John Dramani Mahama, but your other issues there, but me per se and wrap this conversation on Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia. Na yeah, which now maybe we set another topic for a year. If we say a dear Nebema Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, I know say you've answered, but you didn't win ye pa. Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, according to a year Yeraya was Safomafo or no. And I manage this economy as head of economic management team for the past 7 years, what they call 8 years. Maybe be a course who levy all these taxes, you know. Dr. Muhammad Bawumia, influential artist or come by IMF program, I do call all these taxes are being in something. IMF conditionality, you won't have to call my IMF, said they may person me no endorse and one more scan on the air. Is Dr. Bawumia trying to run away from MPP government or Nwankasa Apli rule as a head of economic management team and the vice president for the past 7 years to 8 years? Is that what he's trying to tell Ghana for? Say, yes, me a part there, but this is not how I want it. So now, if you give me the opportunity, I will do different things.
Sammy, exactly so. I want to say, record I'm creating, like you said, no, and also can we create this record, no, in terms of being the head of the economic management team, the head of the subcommittee on economic policy, and I think so, alternate cabinet, and sometimes also he chairs the cabinet, say president anywhere. On this record, no, you cannot show this record to anybody. And the best thing is he has to run away from their own record that he played a key role. I keep saying, say. Ye bisa Orakufado. Don't see the reason why anybody say you are saying he knows everything in the economics. Meaning saying Orakufado die Juman Edisha in same. And the man knows that their performance have been abysmal. Something you can't talk about, something you can't even think about. On the same, Filippo. So the best thing is say, on in America, say then it means the man is not a group thinker and is not a team player. And the man is not credible, or you will be our own to mean Jinindi. Because who can one who say Yamano? Jitum say, Eampa, many Orakufadu, Yasel Mano, but Mammy Chance, now meaning in America, say, I think so, Ushenia or Kanyano. Most of the things are almost say, end this year can't mean Kebi. Let me copy. Also, can I say he will slash the ministers to 50?
Yeah.
Also, remember I can't that way back say or nobody is 60. And so also, and say
it's not talking about 55. But me is talking about 55.
And by me 5 in free so I mean 55 just to copy. You see, so when we say the performance is so poor, so let me look at near air cost, near Grofweka, near NDC eka. Na me so me be free soon. I mean Kebi. Because let me see, I'll rely on Ejumana, my boss, for that idea. Ghanaians will find it difficult to trust and believe me. But you need because you have been part of it. Everybody knows that from day one, you have been part of it. You are part of the reason why Ghana for every. In fact, Jumana why anko yenu and no Ghana for and I ain't been to your rent. Ain't been they ain't been 3 times in a day. Ain't been to a lot of things, school fees and so on and so forth. Look, even feeding for school children and at the free secondary school, ain't to me. So the man is aware on him say this performance is unprecedented. A been see that. A been see a person. Sorry, it be tonfu beyond 20 Ghana cedis per liter. Sabi been see that, me bona. With all the insult and all the friend is Mahamano, we never bought fuel for a liter at 23 cedis. We never. But under the government, and also count we bought a liter at 23 Ghana cedis. And I think the man has gone back to listen to tapes, sir. And I said, Kasa now can 2014, 2015, 2016, you know, say, say me can win about Ora Mahama. Now, so Ocean Jumansua, remember a Bomodimpa, you play the tape. All the buffers or creative sinking fund, a give, ESLA, and so on and so forth. Heritage fund, you know, creative, you know, may can sense him, you know, against the man. May Yano, a friend incompetent. Look, one of the synonyms of incompetent. You can open the dictionary. Hey, useless. Me can sense him now, friend useless, no. And then no, near me boss, I know. I can't talk about it. So me say me come up, then Ghana for will say then I am super incompetent. Say if I'm taking the synonym, I'm super useless. And don't say that the man want to move away from it and tell lies. Wow. And after you copy and tell Ghanaians. And after so say he still thinks that 2008 I didn't buy ya. In same be okaya a talk Ghana for Akumasono. He still thinks that he still has that mileage in the minds of Ghanaians. Nemono 2012 and 16, is still thinking I still have the goodwill from the people. So let me, I mean to us to enchant throwing in we kaipa time omobano. Most of the things are omokaim, the promises, it was Bawumia who championed it. $1 million per constituency. He was championing all those things. Remember, it's 7 years. Even $1 enco constituency. 1 village, 1 dam. He championed it. Enkoye. 1D, 1F. Say almost factory in every district. Omunye. They be ambisa. Maybe I will say no. Me hono. Because when see Central Municipal Assembly, we don't have any one factory. So you see, so the man knows that going back on the same thing. Say me can say many ora for the ACA. Ghana for Chemi. Okay. And so let me deviate. Okay. And tell lies again.
Citizen Alan Chematin, predicted said Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is tired, is fatigued. He has nothing new, only new any ideas. Can we say Alan Chematin has been vindicated by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia delivery tonight?
Oh, in a way, but I don't think he's tired because he still had the strength to spew lies for more than 2 hours. Obianka wabrenunka obasisa, but me don't say because I mean he's a very confident liar, very confident.
Very confident trickster.
Sammy, you see, this government has succeeded in scamming Ghanaians. What can you maybe try? It's a scam. And they have even gone ahead to scam even the IMF. One of the things you wanted us to talk about was IMF working the government should stick to what they have negotiated.
Yeah.
They have gone to scam the IMF. And do you know one more kind of negotiations? His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Ken Ofori-Atta, and Addison. These were the 3 key people how IMF them negotiation. Until Wakaka IMF there, you be implement ABCD. Wakaka IMF where you mission one day. Yeah, sure the mighty Ghanaians would open. So yes, we will do it. We release this Kanamam. Now, emu frakadama yeye. Emu Damile Tebina was circulated the PRO of Ministry of Finance will issue for ECG and NEDCO to withdraw the aid. See, some even the Senate Ministry will issue letters and offer.
First, as I say, radio in a year publication.
Without a letter.
Yeah.
And now, just after the Vice President finished talking, there is a letter. No name under it. It says public relations department of the Ministry of Finance.
So they should stop charging the VAT.
Yes. For immediate release. You see, So I mean, this is what we are doing to ourselves as Ghanaians. Sometimes we say they have succeeded in scamming all of us, and they are scamming the International Monetary Fund as well. Because you go and say there you are, because these things are IMF conditionality. Then Benghazi, patenting letter. Oh, gidi. When we read none letter on the Bahano, it was in there. The same letter now. Or did be defended there.
One can't first paragraph.
It was in that same letter. Into Makaka, them obey them just to get the money. Now when you can be any the it will cause a big problem for anybody who is taking over in 2025. Because now you've gotten the money. In 2025, IDXM could defend another one to get an exchange. It looks like a young dream. Ghana, yet debt, sees a yakawa yazino. Me who makes a can. What is the right word? You also spend payment.
Yeah. Interest in tia, principals in tia.
Yes, domestic debt restructuring. So, and Kofu bond na de ya restructuring. From 2025, we will start paying. There's about 10 billion BOD each year. Sammy, where are we going to get the money from? So this is the dark house. I see National Cathedral idea. We too model. I'm gonna dunku. Then you get somebody who is part of that team at the highest level. I had a not actually was a soldier for they have the command. The second in command, see, he's not part of the command. Second in command, he's not part of the command. Me who be that? That at that highest level, the man muna donku ashebe too. Yet you are even talking about baby ye for that it's kind of be way. That's why I'm saying this really it looks like a whole scam. For me, it looks like a scam.
Okay.
In Brina was okay, me must man can
me bought a year I was a former for a dance CD for Dr. Muhammad Baumia as far as this management of the economy for the past 7 to 8 years is concerned. Inti era ya was a former.
I would want all of us here to, and on behalf of my colleagues, say a very big thank you to the type of leadership the EMT has enjoyed from Dr. Baumia. A chairman who is so involved in the work of he works like a member, like a secretary. It's sterling quality, professionally excellent. So we are where we are because Dr. Baumia is putting up a very professional chairmanship to the EMT. And I pray that we continue to work together as a team.
According to senior minister, I say Dr. Muhammad Baumia, head of economic management, also acting as a member. I say, you want to taxes in the economy in now, on I 30 seconds. There you
go. And you see, we are ridiculing ourselves as a people, and they should give us a little bit of respect. Just a little bit of respect. Now when we all need to build this Ghana together. I mean, in my letter, when I cry, make sure them to my family. You at the highest level of the vice president, is in you shabu to my intuition. My yapim so in yashi a you as president and son being a film that no you would team no idea memes America. And we are using this opportunity to also call on the Electoral Commission that they should give us a timetable for this year. Name to me a plans.
Okay. About 30 seconds.
Me major Kai for the now Kai. Say because of
maybe you have technology. I think say a senior reporters Kai for how digitalization had transforming.
I'm still thinking about the whole thing because the only thing I know is say if you are creating apps via on Virginia when you China press it up the things will jump into your car. Otherwise, how would technology change them from using headpan?
Okay, maybe say due to digitalization, the heaviness of the load has been reduced. Because of digitalization, so one I want to cry.
And I feel with this year election, let's say the academia, especially lecturers on economics, finance, they should say something.
Into academia.
No, because we can't have this man.
Who are spewing a lot of nonsense.
No, Sammy, we can't have Bawumia spewing these lies. And they will sit down.
We've seen academia people who we think
they will sit down for us
academia.
For us
who
to
are
witness.
saying Westerns.
No, Sammy is serious.
I was here for your points. Good night. Original TV, Ghana ye Dini.